Good morning 10th class. Welcome to Sectors of Indian Economy. Ma, in the yesterday's video, we have seen that how the goods produced in each and every sector are counted in order to go to total production. Did you understand? In each and every sector, in primary sector goods are produced, in the secondary as well as the tertiary sector the goods and services are produced. But we have learnt that only the value of the final good or service should be considered when we are counting the total production. Do you remember? Now, did you get it out? Why only the value of the final good and services should be considered when many goods are involved in the production process? Understood? Yesterday, let us go with an example in this case. Yesterday we have seen a small example about the manufacturing of the biscuits. Yes, so here I have got a nice yummy Karachi biscuit packet. This is only for as an example, not to eat. Okay. Now, what is the total cost of this biscuit packet? It is 170 rupees. Means 170 rupees is the final value of this particular product. Understood? So see here. The value of the biscuit packet is 170 rupees, ma. But this biscuit packet, how is this biscuit packet made of? The biscuits in this packet are made of many ingredients, not only wheat. Along with wheat, many ingredients like sugar, oil, all the artificial flavors, all the ingredients like baking powder, baking soda, all these ingredients are added, then only we get these biscuits. Yes or no? Yes. So, what are these ingredients which help in the manufacturing process or which are added to the actual product called? Now see here. All these other ingredients, the cost of the biscuit packet is 170 rupees. But these biscuits are made up of wheat flour, sugar, oil, baking powder, baking soda, etc., etc., etc. And all these are called as the intermediate goods. Intermediate goods. Now see here. Intermediate goods are the goods which are used in producing the final goods and services. So, intermediate goods are the goods which are used in producing the final goods and services. Let us take another example. All yours whole time favorite, pizza. Okay? Pizza is the final good which the consumer will eat. It is ready to be used. Pizza. Yes, ma'am. How was this pizza made? First, a base is prepared with some sort of flour. A base is prepared, and upon that cheese is added. All the good for nothing things, all are added on that top. It is topped with all the good for nothing things, and then it is baked. Yes, ma'am. So, all these ingredients which we are using to get our final product pizza, these are called the intermediate goods, and the pizza which is in our hand is the final good. So here when you are counting the production, you will be considering the cost of pizza only, but not the cost of other goods which are involved in production. Understood, ma? So here see, if the value of the biscuit packet is 170 rupees, then wheat may cost 30 rupees, sugar may cost 30, oil may cost 30, and all other ingredients may make up to 80 rupees. So, these are the intermediate goods, and this is the value of the intermediate good. Understood? Okay. Now, all these values, students, they are included in this value of the final product. Okay. Understood, ma? All these values, the values of the intermediate goods are included in the value of the final product. That is why only the value of the final goods and services need to be considered when we calculate the or we count the total production in a particular sector. Okay, did you understand this clearly? Now see here. In your textbook page number 23, you have got this definition. See here, read this definition, underline this definition. I am reading it out. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year. Understood, ma? So here see, ma, see here, we have primary, secondary and tertiary sectors over here. Okay, so the value of the final good in primary sector is 50. Okay, the value of the final, let us suppose in primary sector a farmer has cultivated sugarcane, and here the cost of sugarcane is 50 sorry, and the value of the final good is also 50 only, because sugarcane is not processed in any other way, in any other form. It is not processed, or something else is not even added to sugarcane. Okay, so this is the cost of the product and the value of the product. Okay, ma, both are same in the primary sector. Now coming to the secondary sector. In this secondary sector, this sugarcane is taken to the industry where the price of sugarcane goes up to 80 rupees, because some ingredients are added, some processing of the sugarcane is done over there. So here this cost goes up to 80 rupees. But what will be the value of the final product in secondary sector? Did you understand what is the value of final product in secondary sector? So here Seema, this 80 rupees, it includes 50 rupees, yes or no? Did you understand me? 80 rupees is including 50 rupees. So what is the balance? The value is only 30 rupees here. Did you understand? So the value of production in the secondary sector is 30 rupees only. And this sugarcane, after we get some final product in the secondary sector, that is further, it goes to the tertiary sector or the services sector, where it is sold. Here we got sugar, ma. Okay, in the secondary sector, after the processing of sugarcane, we got sugar. Now this sugar, it goes to the tertiary sector, means the services sector, where it is neatly packed. Okay, a retailer from here, a wholesaler takes it. Okay, in the tertiary sector, a wholesaler, one big merchant, he takes the sugarcane, he neatly packs it and sells it in the market. At what price will he sell this now? He will sell it at 100 rupees to the consumer. This is example only. The price of 1 kg of sugar is not 100 in the market. Okay. So, he will be selling the product at 100 rupees. Okay. So, the consumer will take this product at 100 rupees. Now, what is the value of final good here? This 100 rupees is involving 80 rupees. This 100 rupees includes the 80 rupees. So, the value of final good is 20 only for the tertiary sector. Understood? Now, you add all these three. 50, 30, 20. It sums up to 100. So, here the consumer also, he is getting the product at 100. And the sum total of all the three sectors is 100. So, this is the GDP or the gross domestic product. Now, see here. And the sum total of production in three sectors gives what is called the gross domestic product or GDP. So, the sum total of production in primary sector, value of production in primary sector is 50, in the secondary sector it was 30, and in the tertiary sector it was 20. So, the sum total is 100. That is the same price at which the consumer is also getting the product. So, this is the GDP. You understood this concept, na? This concept of final goods and services, what are intermediate goods and what is GDP. I hope this concept is clear to you all. Yes, ma? You please go through this definition of GDP. It is very, very important, students. Okay? Now, after this, we will be seeing what are the changes which have come across in all the three sectors. maybe in the primary, secondary and the tertiary sectors, there were many changes which have come across. What are those changes? How the importance of each sector changed from time? That we'll be seeing in the next class.